Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Scholar Classes after a long gap. Today we'll discuss the notes on chapter 2 from history, that is Nationalism in India. So we'll discuss the 1 mark questions first, and it will be followed by 3 mark question and important 5 mark question. So first question is, when did Mahatma Gandhi return to India? The answer is in 1915. Next question is, which three important events in India made Mahatma Gandhi as a mass leader? Answer is Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha and Ahmedabad Mill Workers Strike of 1918. Next question is, when was the Roll Act passed? It was passed in the year 1919. It gave the powers to the British to arrest anyone without trials for 2 years. Fourth question is, who imposed martial law in Punjab in 1919? Your answer is General Dyer. He is related with Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 13th April 1919. Who wrote Hind Swaraj? Your answer is Mahatma Gandhi in 1909. Next question is, in which session of the Indian National Congress the non-cooperation movement was adopted? Your answer is in Nagpur session, December 1920. The non-cooperation movement began in January 1921. And your eighth question is, who was the leader of non-cooperation movement in Awadh? Your answer is Baba Ramchandra. Next question is, who was the leader of non-cooperation movement in the Gudum Hills of Andhra Pradesh? Your answer is Alluri Sitaram Raju. Next is, when was the Inland Immigration Act passed and in which state? It was passed in 1859 in Assam. Next question is, why was the non-cooperation movement withdrawn by Gandhiji? The non-cooperation movement was withdrawn because of the Chauri Chaura incident which took place in February 1922. Next question is, who formed the Swaraj Party? It was formed by Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das in 1923. Next is, when did the Simon Commission arrive in India and why it was not liked by the Indians? It arrived in India in 1928 and it was not liked by Indians because there was no Indian members present in the commission. Next question is, who offered the dominion status for India? It was Lord Irwin in 1929. Next question is, which event marked the beginning of civil disobedience movement? Your answer is Salt Satyagraha or Dandi March in 1930. Now let's talk something about 3 mark question. What was the impact of the First World War on India? So it had the following impacts. Number 1, defense expenditure increased. Number 2, income tax was introduced. And number 3, price of the commodities or products was doubled. Next question is, why was the non-cooperation movement withdrawn by Mahatma Gandhi? It was withdrawn by Mahatma Gandhi mainly due to Chauri Chaura incident, and in this incident 22 policemen were killed, and Gandhiji felt that Satyagrahis need to be properly trained before they would be ready for mass struggle. Next question is, explain the role of women in civil disobedience movement. So women participated in large numbers in the civil disobedience movement. During the movement, thousands of women came out of their houses to listen to Gandhiji. They protested in protest marches, manufactured salts, etc., and hence many were put in jail by the British police. Now let's discuss something about 5 mark questions. So the first question for you is, explain the course of non-cooperation movement in the countryside. So the movement was led by Baba Ramchandra in the countryside with the support of local peasants and the tribals. The movement was against talukdars and landlords who were demanding high taxes from the peasants and the local people. So the local people like Nai, Dhobi, tailors, they stopped giving services to the British. The Aut Kisan Sabha was established to make the movement more intense by Jawaharlal Nehru and Baba Ramchandra, and hence the house of Talukdars and merchants were attacked by the common people. Next question is, in what ways non-cooperation movement was different from the civil disobedience movement? During the non-cooperation movement, people were asked not to cooperate with the British, but in civil disobedience movement, the people were told to break the law. The non-cooperation movement started due to events like First World War, Dole Act, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and Khilafat issue, whereas the civil disobedience movement started due to the Great Depression of 1929, failure of Simon Commission, and rejection of 11 demands made by Gandhiji. All the middle class people, rural people, plantation workers, and Muslims participated in the non cooperation movement, but the businessmen and rich peasants supported the civil disobedience movement, and hence it was not supported by whole number of people. Next question is Dalit participation was limited in the civil disobedience movement and explain. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar clashed with Mahatma Gandhi at the Second Roundtable Conference by demanding separate electorates for the Dalits. When the British government fulfilled Ambedkar's demand, Gandhiji began a fast unto death. Gandhiji believed that the separate electorates for Dalits would weaken the movement, and Dr. Ambedkar finally accepted Gandhiji's proposal during the Pune Pact of 1932. It gave the depressed class reserved seats in the provincial and central legislative councils, but they were to be voted in the general electorate. So, students, these are some important questions for your exams, but please keep in mind you have to read something about Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Rowlatt Act, and so on. Thank you and have a nice day.